Welcome to Luxuriously Poor. May God bless each and every one of you and watch over you and keep you through these really, really hard times. Now, today I'm going to give you some tips that will help save you money. Tip one is I have not been able to find an egg separator. I don't know why, but I just haven't been able to find one. And I got tired of messing with it, so I says, wait a minute, I'll just do this myself. Now, the reason I want an egg separator is because a lot of times when I'm separating 7 or 8 eggs, I will always end up with one yolk that gets broke and it falls into the egg white. And I'm stuck trying to pick it out. Or I end up with a lot of egg white and the other half of the shell. Now, those of you who know that go back and forth with your shells to separate your white know that not always does all the white come out. Now you could use your hands, but I don't want to do that. So this is how I separate mine. Now, yes, an egg separator, lots of you probably have it. When I started to finally look for one, I could not find them at the store. This works perfect. It really, really does, and it's just a slotted wooden spoon I have here at the house. You could use a metal. You could use a Teflon. I don't think it really matters. I like the spoon because on a spoon, its edges around the corner are upward. A spatula, to me, it slides too much. But a spoon, it rests in the center more, which makes it easier. So you see? All these I've broken so far with absolutely no problems, no breaks in the yolk, and all the white is come out and gone into my bowl. And that's awesome to me. Okay? So you don't have to have an egg separator. You can do it in a different way. Okay, tip number 2. The plate, or placa, some people call it. This is going to save you aluminum. This idea, or this tip, is going to save you a lot of money on aluminum. Because most people that use this, when they want to roast tomatoes or jalapenos, they put a piece of aluminum on this to toast or roast their tomatoes and jalapenos because they don't want it to stick. The tomatoes have a tendency to stick right in the center of your placa. And what happens is it makes it really hard when you go to make tortillas. Then your tortilla actually sticks too. Well, so what do? You're stuck putting aluminum foil, and that is the trick that everybody tells you to do to keep the tomato and the jalapeno from sticking to your placa. They always tell you, just put a little bit of aluminum foil on it, and it won't stick. And so it won't mess up your placa. Well, that gets to be expensive because the tomato and jalapeno, especially the tomato, actually sticks to your placa. To your aluminum foil, so you cannot reuse it. You can't. So you end up with a whole lot of wasted aluminum foil. So this is what I do. I had my husband. This is an old CD rack that would hold CDs. It's metal, but he bent it open, okay, and bent it flat. He used a hammer. You can use whatever you want. You can use a rack from an old toaster oven, anything small that will fit over your, eye of your fire. You can buy something if you want to. In the end, it will save you money. But if you can find something laying around at home that's metal, you can put it over it. And you can use it instead of using your placa. And you can roast tomatoes, jalapenos, long green peppers, anything that you want to roast. You can actually roast on top of this, saving you a whole lot of money in aluminum foil. Aluminum foil, saran wrap, those are things I really don't buy very much of. I have no need for them because I have replaced them by doing other things. And so, if you went to my first tip that I gave you, remember the shower hat? Well, that saves a lot of saran wrap. But here, you see? This is all I do. It roasts just fine. Now, my next tip has to do with scraping out the last bits of food from a container. Yeah. I learned this when I worked at a restaurant. This guy, he had a spatula. He had several spatulas, different sizes. And, you know, for years when I was much younger, when I finished with the mayonnaise jar and I got as much as I could without, with the spoon, I would toss it in the garbage. This man could get a mayonnaise jar so clean with a spatula that you actually thought he washed the mayonnaise jar. And he showed me. And he said, using a spoon never gets out as much as you want of anything. When you're at the bottom at the last. He said, a spatula will. And he showed me the difference and how much that I was throwing away in this jar, in a mayonnaise jar. And he said to me, now imagine, especially if you're in a restaurant, jar after jar after jar of mayonnaise and doing what you do, he said, it wouldn't take long you've actually thrown away a whole jar of mayonnaise. And I thought to myself, he's right. I mean, take a look at this. There is not much left in the bottom of this, and I had actually used the spoon to get everything out. But I sat it aside and said, later I'll go back with the spatula because I knew there was more in there. I just couldn't get it out with the spoon. Now I'm going to show you how much I was actually able to get out. And it's quite a bit, and over time, stop and think about it, it's true. See, saving money is a mindset. When we tell ourselves, it's not a big deal, it ain't that much, well, it's because we have a wasteful mindset. And that wasteful mindset carries over to everything in our life. And so therefore, we end up always broke and never having, not even $5 on us. But when we have a frugal mindset and a determined mindset to save every penny that is possible, we always can dig down for just a little bit more. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm digging down into my lard container for just a little bit more to come out of it. Because guess what? This is enough for me to cook more food with. Refried beans, I can make tortillas. Only takes 5 tablespoons of lard for tortillas. I was thinking biscuits, okay, 1/3 of a cup, because I use about 1/3 of a cup of lard to make my biscuits, and this is almost 1/3 of a cup right here. So this, I hope, are tips that will help you. Now I have more coming, a whole lot more tips. These are tips I use in my own life every day. And I don't have to go out and spend money. And there's a lot of people out there have all these hacks and everything. And, you can do this. But it always costs you money. It really does. These are things that don't cost you money. These are things that actually save you money. And they're things that I have learned over the years that have actually helped me in the long run. They really have. And if you use them and apply them in your own life, you will see that they help you money. They will help you save money also. Now, some of my next tips is I'm going to show you how you can really clean your dishes in emergencies. And I do it all the time, not just emergencies. My son seems to say, people are not interested in cleaning dishes the way you do. Well, I say, when there's no water, they definitely will. And that is coming. Just like the gas is going to be a real issue. But, oh well, what can I say? But God bless you, and have a blessed day, and enjoy. And come back and visit me again, okay? Because I love seeing you guys here. And leave me a comment.